Up, guys? Welcome to my Lost City progress report. Just been spinning flax, picking flax, spinning flax. I think if you pick flax and sell flax, you're a fucking asshole. So picking flax is easier, but ain't nobody trying to string, bowstrings. And plus, you make more money. It's like spinning bowstrings from flax is like 25% less efficient than if you spin them yourself. So, I spin my own bowstrings. It's just one of the best methods to make money in the game, aside from like hard clues. Top 10 easy low-level methods to make money on the game is even better than high-level bossing. You got like green dragons, you got blah blah blah, blah blah blah, blah blah blah. And then picking flax and spinning flax is a top 10 method, to make money on the game. But picking flax by itself is a better method because spinning bowstrings is less efficient. It's just, I'm not a fucking asshole. I'll take the 20% loss, or overall is like a 15% loss in efficiency. But then it comes at a cost of being a fucking dick. So, yeah, I've spun 2,000 bowstrings, only 2,000. My goal is just to get a nice like 10 mil cash stack from just spinning bowstrings, and then do some like skilling and stuff, buy all the gear that I'm gonna need. I already have a rune set. I bought all the runes that I need for my 45 magic. I'll be getting, 45 magic here. I have enough money to get 45 magic. Or at least like pretty close. I got about 100k cash in the bank, and I have a total of about 600 chaos runes and over 1,000 mind runes. So I should be able to get my 45 magic. It would sure be pretty fucking shitty if I have to buy like another 1,000 chaos runes just for like, and maybe it's better to have some chaos runes laying around, but I just sure hope that I can get this 45 magic with just what I have here. So that's what I'm hoping for. Worst case scenario, maybe when I train my rune crafting, that will provide me runes, but but nothing, When I train my rune crafting, that will probably provide me a lot of runes and stuff to be able to train my magic. And yeah, so pretty much, let's see here. 55 magic is high level alchemy. But what is high level alchemy really good for anyways? Training magic maybe. but is not efficient on the bank account. You know, to train magic at the high levels, I use Camelot Teleport over and over and over and over. It prevents you from getting attacked by a random. You know, like, you can get random events when you're casting Camelot Teleport, but, you know, is perhaps a little bit less efficient. But on the bank account, I think, you know, using Camelot Teleport is much better, especially in this early stage of the game when, you know, everything is so expensive because everyone's going for ranks. You know, I'm playing the game for long term. You know, I'm more long term with the shit. You know, you know, casting high level alchemy is like a 400 GP loss per iteration. You know, casting, let's see, I haven't actually done the math on this, but I know Law Runes, let's see, how much are Law Runes? Probably better if I do the math on this before I start talking shit. Oh, hold on. How much are Nature Runes? So yeah, like I said, like, high level alchemy, if you do it right, I just don't know which items to high elk. If you elk U longbows, you know, you're going to be losing a lot more money. And I'm sorry for the confusion, but casting Camelot Teleport over and over and over is about the same. It's about the same, you know, and it is easier on the economy to do it that way, you know, and you know, high alking is like a major like GP loss for the way that most people do it. So I prefer Camelot Teleport. You know, is my favorite method of training magic. It's easier on the economy. It requires you to hold less stuff in your inventory at one time, so that if you're like looking away from the screen and if you get attacked by a random, you don't die and lose all your shit. But, you know, well, but nothing, you know, in high level alchemy is a major GP loss. I don't know, they're about the same, you know, but I prefer like Camelot Teleport. That's what I would do if I was training magic, you know. I don't like the significant GP loss that comes along with high level alchemy. Like I say, even if you chop your own U logs, and U logs are, I mean, let's just do some simple math. U logs are going for 340 each. Okay, that's about 100 GP down from the last time I checked. Bowstrings are going for 425 each. And I remember from back in the day, you longbows elk for about 760 each, something like that. So, well, that's the price of the raw materials. Am I fucking up? Because, guys, my lack of expertise is really showing through right now, and I'm sorry. Hold on. Don't click off the video. Okay. Let's just cut straight to the pudding. You longbow. So yeah, everyone's going for ranks right now, and the prices of these items is just a major, major, major GP loss, and it's probably just better if we play the game for long term. Once people stop playing for ranks as much, then maybe we can, but then again, my method of making money, which is basically spinning bowstrings, my method of making money is going to be pretty much shitted on. If you can get 1K, if you can sell 1K bowstrings for 425 each right now, I'm expecting bowstrings to be worth about 200 GP. If the server lasts like another couple of years, bowstrings are going to be down and stay at around 200 each. U-logs, I think like playing for XP is always going to come at a loss. But the economy right now is just a little bit weird. If we could figure out the economy in such a way where we could just, I think hard clues is one of the best methods of making money in the game, or rather clue scrolls in general are one of the best methods of making money in the game. But there's so many like undiscovered methods that to play efficiently, I think my method is probably a top 10 method. Like spinning bowstrings is like 150k GP an hour. I've seen people like playing the game that they really like don't know what the fuck they're doing apparently. They're trying to how much is pure essence? I think like mining pure essence is a great way to make money. Rune essence. How much is rune essence right now? 180 GP each. It's going for about 200 each. So mining pure essence may or may not be like the move, but that requires a quest, and I really don't want to do the quest, so also, I am buying all adamant axes and pickaxes. And there's a reason for that, is because PM me if you want to sell me your adamant axes from your clue scrolls and your adamant pickaxes. So yeah, let's see. About to hit 40 magic. I might go for 70 base stats. I see people around YouTube going for like 60 base stats, 70 base stats. Well, that's fine and dandy, but on 2004scape, everything takes a long time, and I'm not trying to deal with that. I might go for like a higher level agility so that they say that run energy is going to be scaled with your agility level at some point in the future. I might go for like a higher level agility. You know, who knows? You know, um, um, I don't know, guys. You know, I might go for 99 crafting all at bowstrings. I would need like a million bowstrings to do that though. And I know back in the day, I actually used to know Nightmare RH back when he had 12 subscribers. Okay, I was one of the first people to discover this guy. And it's not the biggest thing that I've ever accomplished in my life, but I discovered Nightmare RH when he had 12 subscribers, and I basically told him, you know, Nightmare, you know, you might have a future in video making, you know. And like I said, in real life, I own a business, you know. Actually, I own a pretty big business, you know, I think. But I'll never be as famous as Nightmare, but probably richer than Nightmare. I just want to make this clear. I've done a lot of these little things in my life, like discovering Nightmare RH when he had 12 subscribers. I discovered drop shipping before people started talking about it. I figured the method out all by myself. And but that was what we did back then. Not me and Nightmare, but that was the move back in the day, was picking flax and spinning flax. And if you see Nightmare RH's old, you know, new videos of him playing on 2004scape, he's spinning bowstrings because that's what we did back then. You know, picking flax and spinning bowstrings, that was the way to make the come up back then, you know. But they added something in the game where you didn't have to click each bowstring one by one by one by one by one. So clicking a million flax, running to and from the bank, clicking a million flax, plus misclicks, right? Clicking a million bowstrings. I don't know how I feel about RuneScape and arthritis. I've been playing RuneScape for 20 years. I think, you know, after all this time, I'm pretty confident that I would survive such an adventure of going for 99 crafting, spinning bowstrings. You know, but Yeah, basically, I was one of the first people to discover Nightmare RH, and I thought his bank account on RuneScape was amazing. But we had a falling out, and I turned out to be successful in my life in spite of that. So, we were good buddies. But what happened is I had my friends come onto his Ventrilla, and he started to get really popular. I found him when he had 12 subs, and I said, "Wow, this guy has a future in these videos. This guy's like good at talking to the camera, and he has like the account to show it and stuff like that." And I was like, "Oh, okay. Well, this guy might have a future in making videos." And Nightmare, is not, by the way, is not the same person on camera than he is in real life. A Nightmare turned out to be now is actually very quiet, but he has that spark of, it is like he started to put on too much of a show for the camera, and he started to get made fun of and stuff. Where in the beginning, he was actually very quiet. So shout out to Nightmare. I hope he sees this video. It's Mega Billy Bob. Yeah, after we stopped talking, what happened was, let's talk to the viewers for a second. What happened is I brought my friends onto his Ventrilo, and then one of my friends started their own Ventrilo. And since Nightmare was always like in his own lobby, he had like a private lobby at the bottom of the Ventrilo. I went to my friend's Ventrilo because I knew this guy in real life. I didn't really know Nightmare. And Nightmare got his pussy all in a knot. And banned us all from his Ventrilo when we're friends just fine. And I still consider Nightmare like a distant, like, kind of like we could still be friends to this day. I don't know if you could ever really call us friends, but we were buddies just fine. But when we joined our friend's Ventrilo, he got his pussy all in a knot and banned us from his Ventrilo. So he got jealous, basically, is what happened. So, but Nightmare it seems to be a decent enough guy. I don't know. I don't really know the guy. Like I said, he was very quiet. He didn't talk to us too much. When we met, he was 18 years old and I was like 14 years old or 15 years old or something like that. And yeah, so shout outs to Nightmare. I hope all is well there, buddy. I'm sorry for what happened between us, and congratulations on your success, and I hope you feel the same for me. So anyways, let's move on with the video. I do want to complete all the quests. I think that would be a good move. I might complete the waterfall quest. because that would give me some easy combat levels, you know. And I want to do the Rune Mysteries quest so I could mine pure essence. And they say, like, well, what is money really good for on the game? That's what I say. That's what I'm starting to say about this game. Is like, what is money really good for on this game? Probably like leveling your skills and stuff, but you know, when I go for 80 base stats, that money might come in handy, you know. I don't know. All I know is that I will be getting my 80 crafting spinning flax. So let's see. I know level 80 is about 2 million XP, something like that. And you know, I know 80 crafting is about 2 million XP. So that's about, you know, 100,000 bowstrings times like 0.33, so about 200,000 bowstrings. No. Well, 2 million XP. Okay. What the fuck? Why can't I figure this out? My math skills have been deteriorating because I use calculators for everything. Okay. 2 million crafting XP divided by 15 XP per bowstring is 133,000 bowstrings times, let's say on a bad day if I sell them for 325 each, would be 43 million GP, which would give me all the GP that I need on the whole game. So $43 million GP. Yeah, I mean, that would definitely buy me everything I need. It would buy me my ranger boots. It would buy me my ranger hat. Dragon chain body. Has anyone even gotten a dragon chain body yet? Or is the Calphite Queen even out yet? Dragon mace. I mean, I can't even pause this video. Why doesn't the Chromebook have an option to pause the video? This is ridiculous. I mean, so I'm going to make another video when I get done doing what I have to do. So watch my next video if you want to see more from me.